Torture, justice, control. What do these words really mean when taken to the extreme? Across empires, dynasties, and dusty courtrooms, history has served up justice with a brutal hand. You're about to journey through 10 of the most spine-chilling punishments ever recorded, and trust me, some of these will make your stomach turn. This isn't for the faint of heart. This is the 10 most brutal punishments in history that will haunt you. Imagine this, you're bound between two boats, force-fed milk and honey until your body revolts, then left to bake in the sun, as insects take their time. Scaphism, the ancient Persian art of turning a human into a feast. Plutarch, a Greek historian, described this punishment as almost too horrific to believe, but it was real. Used on traitors and political threats, this method didn't just kill, it turned death into a slow, humiliating theater. Crafted in ancient Greece by a twisted genius named Perillos, the brazen bull was a bronze statue, with a horrifying secret. Inside, victims were roasted alive. Their screams, channeled through pipes to sound like a bull's roar. Irony? The inventor was reportedly the first to try it. A punishment meant to entertain tyrants and terrify the masses. In Imperial China, honor was everything, and dishonor deserved something far worse than death. Lingchi, slow slicing. Over hours or even days, pieces of the body were cut away. Some victims were kept alive through the agony for symbolic reasons. For Liu Jin, a corrupt official in 1510, over 3,000 cuts were ordered. This wasn't just punishment, it was spiritual obliteration. It's dawn in 16th century Germany. The crowd gathers not for justice, but for a spectacle. A man is tied to a cartwheel. One by one, his limbs are shattered. Then he's left on display, sometimes for days. Known as the Catherine Wheel, this wasn't just execution, it was a message. Crime, rebellion, blasphemy, the wheel didn't discriminate. In the courts of Mughal India, power wasn't whispered, it trampled. Elephants weren't just for war, they were executioners, trained to crush skulls or slowly dismantle bodies, one footstep at a time. For the emperors, this wasn't cruelty, it was order, dispensed through nature's mightiest beast. The real Dracula didn't drink blood, he spilled it. Vlad the Impaler ruled with a stake, literally. Victims were pierced, rectum to mouth, and displayed for miles. Ottoman soldiers reportedly turned back at the sight. The forest of the impaled wasn't fiction, it was Vlad's way of saying, "Enter my land and suffer." Skin, the barrier between man and pain. What if it were removed, piece by piece? The Assyrians were among the first to flay their enemies. Skins were nailed to city walls. In Persia, a corrupt judge named Sisamnes was skinned alive. His flesh, draped over his replacement's chair, not justice, reminder. Giles Corey was 81 when they tried to force a plea from him during the Salem witch trials. He refused. They laid stones on his chest. More, and more, and more. His final words, "More weight." In death, Corey became a symbol, not of witchcraft, but of defiance. On Dutch and British warships, justice wasn't blind. It was underwater. Tied to a rope, dragged beneath the ship's keel, men were shredded by barnacles, or drowned. This was naval discipline, and it left scars that went deeper than flesh. Treason was the ultimate crime, and for that, England reserved its most gruesome show. Hanged, gutted, beheaded, dismembered. William Wallace met this fate, so did Guy Fawkes. The message? You don't challenge the crown, not unless you're ready to be remembered in pieces. So, what do these punishments really say about us? From golden bulls to jungle elephants, from shattered bones to shredded skin, these weren't just punishments. They were performances, displays of power, messages carved into flesh. Whether it was a king declaring dominance, a state enforcing fear, or a mob demanding justice, brutality was often dressed up as order. And while these punishments are behind us, outlawed, buried in the past, some of the impulses remain. We still debate what justice looks like. We still ask how much suffering is too much. And history? It's here to remind us that just because something is legal doesn't mean it's right. So the next time you hear about law and order, ask yourself, is it justice or is it fear? Wearing a uniform. Thanks for watching. If you found this fascinating or horrifying, give it a like, hit subscribe, and tell us, Which punishment chilled you the most? And remember, the past isn't dead, it's just waiting to be understood. No more. Be more.